So for me, it was a great experience to see this movie and to see it in the format that it was given in the dialogue, being so supporting, um, and never really even picking up as I was watching it, who was gay and who was straight, just to hear the conversation, that of acceptance, having grown up in a church and still struggling when I go back home to visit my folks. They're in a they grew up Lutheran, and the synod has total control over what can be said and what can't be said in their church, and they love the structure of it. I had a conversation with somebody this morning on a long hike about this church. She's like, because they have on one of their bulletin boards a very long letter about how same-sex marriage is not allowed and will never be allowed in this church, and that it's a sin, and basically you're going to hell. And someone asked, I said, well, how can you, as a gay Christian male, still go to a church that is spewing hate to you? And I said, well, they're older, they're never going to change. And what I heard in this film is like, if we're going to live our lives as Christians, we can't live reading the Bible and thinking this is the way it's supposed to be, because this Bible was written thousands and thousands of years ago when the world was somewhat different. Some parts of history, repeat itself and are still the same. And what I'm getting to is like, you have to be willing to turn your thinking around a little bit and have those hard conversations with family members in order for them to understand who you really are as a person. There are parts of my life that my parents have never heard about, have no knowledge of. My 2 attempts of suicide, they've never known about. There's very few people who know that I've attempted suicide twice as an adult gay male in the last 6 years. And all because of struggles with spirituality and being accepted for who I am, and not being out totally in some arenas of my life. And that's how this film spoke to me, is like, you've got to be able to put yourself forward and leave this legacy of life when you die that you actually loved, not with condition, but without condition. And that's what I want to get across to my parents is, as they're aging and their time to this world is going to come to an end, I don't want this to be an unspoken conversation that I somewhere down the road after they've passed wish I had with them, so that we have a better understanding of each other. And I just applaud you all for having a film like this and taking the courage to go into an area to want to establish this doctrine to the rest of the world.
So I can't let you mention us being courageous without me saying, I don't feel like we're courageous. I feel like you are. And I just want you to know that you are 100% loved and supported.
Thank you.
I'm so grateful just to even have this conversation tonight.
Well, I appreciate that so much, yes. And I look forward to seeing this out in a streaming service and any other films you guys are going to be having out there.
Us too, Mark.
Okay, well, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
I appreciate it.